Aha! What's up, my friend? What's up? What's up? What's up? Start. Right out of Africa. I am your host, Y311H, and you are a fearfully, beautifully, and wonderfully made child of God. Welcome on today's show, and thank you for clicking this video. Good Vibe Soul. Our mission on this channel is to unite the whole world with good vibes, my friend, spreading peace, honesty, forgiveness, joy, repentance, and love, my friend, unconditional love of God to the whole world through reacting together to extremely interesting types of videos, which we shall be seeing together. Now, on today's episode, I shall be munching on this piece of jackfruit here, aka the fenesi, because the weather, my friends, is not that good, you see. So it was hard to get to the farm today. And about the background noise that has just started, kindly bear with us, child of God. There is some welding and construction going on around here. So please bear with us. Yeah. My friend, you want to pass me something? So like my friend has other goodies for us. Some sweet. Oh, these are arrowroots. Cooked arrowroots, boiled. My friend, it's a good vibes day. I also have some collard greens and some word of wisdom from this book here, The Guide of Life. Today, we shall be reading from Luke 11:21 going down. When a strong man, fully armed, guards his own house, his possessions are safe. But when someone stronger attacks and overpowers him, he takes away the armor in which the man trusted and divides up the spoils. He who is not with me is against me, and he who does not gather with me scatters. When an evil spirit comes out of a man, it goes through arid places, seeking rest, and does not find it. Then it says, I will return to the house I left. When it arrives, it finds the house swept, clean, and put in order. Then it goes and takes 7 other spirits, more wicked than itself, and they go in and live there. And the final condition of that man is worse than the first. As Jesus was saying this, a woman in the crowd called out, Blessed is the mother who gave birth to you and nursed you. He replied, Blessed rather are those who hear the word of God and obey it. Good vibe source. This book is always guiding us in this life, full of wisdom. Let's talk to the maker and creator of us all, my friend, before we start the show. Thank you, Father, for your love and goodness and kindness. Dear Lord, thank you for your beautiful child here that have joined us today. All glory and love belong unto you, Father. Dear Lord, may you touch us, Father, in our hearts with your goodness as we react to these videos, Father. May these viewers receive your blessings, Father, and forgiveness. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Let's dive in good vibe sauce.
Pim, 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 pim. 置物です。ペンペンペンペンペンペン。ペンペンペンペンペン。重いよベベ。重いよ。ペンペンペンペンペンペン。デンデンデンデン。デンデンデン。ベベリス横綱だね。ベベリスベベリス
Knock knock, this is Janus. There are 12 meridians in our body. It covers everywhere. I show you. Look, all the lines, the head, back, hands, arms, hands, legs, okay, everywhere the lines, they are meridians. There are 12 meridians in our body. So that means there are almost 400 acupoints in our body. You can see everywhere, okay? And this part you may think that there is no acupoints here because no name, because they are exactly the same. So they don't have to write the name of the acupoints, this part, but it covers the whole body. So once one acupoint, for example, one acupoint blocked, like here, the blocked, so the whole meridian blocked here. Okay, so that's so important. I told you again to unblock your meridians, So if you block here, the qi and the blood cannot get through. So you have the pain, you have the nodules, you have the cyst and the fibroids, cancer, tumor, all come out. So that's why it's so important. Okay, it's okay. Don't worry about it. No matter you have what kind of diseases, you keep it in your mind. Get rid of your dampness and to rise up your qi. Now I show you one exercise. It's very simple. You just stand there and do the stretch out. You can unblock to open the 12 meridians together. Let's do it. It's simple, but you have to do it every day. I show you. First, come down and you rise up your hands like this. Make sure 90 degrees, this one, 90 degrees, and you stretch up, backward, okay, and you do it, you hold it for 1 minute. Okay, now let's do it. Okay, don't just watch me. You stand up and do it with me for 1 minute. Let me check the time. Okay, for 1 minute. To push out by your palm, not by your leg, not by your arms, by your palm. Push out. You can feel the whole stretch of this part, and also here. If you feel pain, feel sour, that means the blockage. You unblock them, okay, for 1 minute. Stretch. When you do it, no talking. Close your mouth. Okay, second, you rise up your body. In the meantime, you rise up your hands to touch and stretch up. You do it. Follow me. For 1 minute. Okay, let me. Okay, and now you make a fist. Look at my hands and down to feel the stretch of this part, your wrist. Stretch inside, hard. for 1 minute, 2. You breath in, breath out slowly. Stretch backwards. Okay, and you pull back, and every exercise you have to do ending posture. Breath in, breath out. Okay, you do it for 9 times every day. You do every 3 times, you take a break and do 3 sets. Every set for 3 times. So totally you have to do 9 times every day in the morning, and you will see the great change. You can get more qi and blood, and the pain in your body, you can feel it can be relieved a lot. So again, hope you're fine, but you have to do it every day. Okay, stop here. Hope you're fine.
Hi friends, another shocker du jour from the home of the shocker du jour. No shocker du jour left behind. What do we have here? Well, these are called bentonite hills, I believe. Bentonite is a type of clay. There's another form of clay called kaolin clay. Kaolin, kaolin, I pronounce this. It begins with a K. Very, very fine, powdery clay. This is a little more dense clay. But look at the colors. Look at the patterns. Look at the people. This is big stuff. And this is biology. It's pure and simple. Okay, this is bentonite clay, and it's a more gritty clay than kaolin clay. They call it kaolin. This is bentonite. Now you see all these colors and see the layers? Nobody has an explanation for that, although I do. And I understand what it is. It's transition metals that are, this was an area where there was a lot of blood. This is all biology, and every one of those layers is another type of layer in the tissue of a body of a gigantic, enormous creature. And in this particular situation, when it petrified, the metals found stability with the clays. And certain layers of that clay, and not all the same, very, very close, but not exact. So each layer takes on a different color to form stability with the transition metals. Now let me show you something about stomachs. This, my friends, is what's inside of stomachs, all these balls. And you say, oh, come on, that's not in a stomach. Well, yes, it is. You want to know how I can tell you? Here's why. You see that? That's inside of a stomach. Exactly what I just showed you. That's what's in the stomach. All right, and then there's all kinds of other intestinal and tissues and colon and all that stuff, which I will show you now in a gigantic form, just like that one. You see that? I believe that's some form of intestinal tissue. This guy's standing on some here. They call it pillow basalt. Well, it's biology. Call it anything you want. But that guy's standing on it right there. You see that? You say, oh, that's just magma. Magma did this. Everything is magma when they can't explain it. They just, oh, that's a volcano, magma. See, this is the Vermilion Cliffs. This is out in the Midwest, or the western United States. It's incredible. It's just blood gushing out of this. It looks like, to me, it's either intestine, colon. I don't think it's stomach tissue, but it might be. Hard to tell you, but it's just all over. It's everywhere. That's literally blood coming out of there. This stuff is just enormous. It needs to be reconsidered, let me put it that way. I'm pretty sure this is intestinal villi, but there's absolutely no question it's biology. He says, this time I've seen a lot of cliffs. I've never seen anything like this before. I think that's what he's looking at, only it's sort of hanging down. And this is what they look like in in a microscope shop. And there's a lot of biology going on in here. This stuff is just, it's so beyond incredible. It's hard to describe. It's just phenomenal. What the human body can do, and how it's constructed, and how intricate, and how many tiny little pieces there are that have to do their job correctly. It's just stunning. Anybody who lives to be more than 15 minutes old, it's just amazing. The complexity, absolutely amazing. I'm just going to run through these kind of quick. It's going to take some time. I showed you the intestinal villi. I showed you the stomach lining. I showed you the stomach lining here. That's the bentonite clays. Vermilion cliffs, whatever that is. I think that's the villi. This is the interstitium balls. You see these little tiny balls here? That's what we're just looking at below, and I'll show you in a second. They're called Moki marbles. You see all these little strips here? This is what we're seeing on these mountains. You see all these different colors. Each one of these it pretty much takes on a different color because it's a different fiber. The fibers themselves are all different types of fibers in your body. One of them's real strengthy, and one of them gives you a little more stretch, and one of them a little rubbery, and one of them's a complete plastic bag, that type of thing. It's just amazing, the variety. Now, this would be the kaolin clay. Then you also get down into some deeper, like muscle sort of clays. That's when you get into your bentonite. But the skin, basically skin, is kaolin clay. And they use the kaolin clay on your skin for skin treatments. Now, all these little balls are these balls that they find all over the place. You see these? Those are Moki marbles. That's those balls. That's because the skin has eroded and all that washed away, and now they're laying on a basement layer, which is a tough layer. Same thing here. This is over the United Kingdom. That's the kaolin clay, the kaolin clay. It's eroded away. This is the red fleshy stuff, which I would say probably is more to the bentonite side. And it's coming down here and making mud. And all the balls are sitting in the mud now. They're washed out of that wall. And these are bigger than those, but they're still the same deal. They come out of flesh, where it's holding your fleshy stuff, right underneath your skin. It has to rip and move and this and that way and then come back. And that's what the balls are there for, to bring it back to where home position, as we used to call it. Now, this is where it gets cool. Why did this turn into salt? And why did this other one here, the bentonite, turn into clay? What's the difference? Why would it do that? Here's some more salt. These are salt spires. Why did that turn into salt instead of turning into bentonite clay? All right, we saw the bentonite clay, and got the same sort of colors, same size is absolutely enormous, but it's clay. Why? Research exposes shocking health risks chemical found in popular everyday products. Well, yes, food. Glyphosate found in there. They spray it right on there before you eat it, and then it kills the bacteria in your body. And that was in your body is the stuff that's supposed to support this, which is a crucial role in balancing gut bacteria. Well, all of a sudden, these are bacteria. These are living little creatures. They're living little creatures. They're biology. They're plant life living in us. We eat the glyphosate, which they spray right on the crops just before you eat it so they can dry it out. It's called desiccation. And that's what kills the bacteria in the bodies of creatures. And then they get sick because they don't have the right gut bacteria. This is simple stuff. A balance of gut bacteria play a crucial role in how MS, multiple sclerosis, develops. And they found it in every other type of disease as well. Gut bacteria is the whole key. And here's the way it gets absorbed, through here. And if you don't have the right bacteria in here to create the right enzymes, you don't absorb the food. This all works together. It's a whole big process. The body and the earth is just the same. Look at this. This is Uluru, Ayers Rock. You see this? That's heart. That's a heart. And here's what it looks like in us. That's a heart. And I have so much evidence to support every word I say. I don't have anything I'm saying that I can't support, not a single word. These are the same interstitium balls as I just showed you in the United Kingdom and Moki marbles, only they're thawing out from up in Alaska, and all the moss is growing on there because the moss is inside the body of the creature. It's the same type of stuff we have in our bodies. And it's starting to eat away at the fleshy stuff that's still left on these balls. Because when those balls are originally washed out, they have a whole ton of edible stuff on them. That's why they're sitting here eating them. Wait a second, where'd it go? Here, right here. That's why they're sitting here eating away here. This is salt water, so you got a different type of moss. But whatever it is, it's eating away. These are not what stromatolites that just started growing here for no reason. They're the same as these, only these have been eaten, completely eaten. So what's left is the little hard metal in the middle, basically. There's going to be a hard ball in the center there, just exactly like it's on right here. There's going to be a hard ball, but it's coated with something that's quite edible. And they love it. They eat it until it ends up with that. And here's what they look like when they're completely eaten. You get down to here. But originally, when this thing washed out of the body, it had a coating around the outside, which was quite edible to the moss, which was living inside the body of that creature. We have this in us, too. We have plant life living in us. You understand? We have plant life living in us. And that's the plant life right now, the bacteria. And it's being killed by the things that we eat, basically. And then there's all kinds of other invasive medical procedures that put things in that kill harmful bacteria, and they also supposedly inoculate you for other things. But at the same time, they can also cause issues with the bacteria that's already there. Strictly research. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. This is blood. This is literally blood running off in Australia. Australia is basically a gigantic bloody scab. There's nothing but blood in Australia. So I'm going to leave it at that for today. But we need to start thinking about, the reality of what we got here. Blood falls. That's blood. And that's because it's melting. This is Antarctica. It's melting and coming out of the creature's body. And I mean, these things are so big, they can gush blood for hundreds of years. Here's some more. Here's some more blood running out. And this is happening all over the world now because the things that are in the earth are starting to warm up. Because the earth is taking on heat, a lot of heat. And when it does, the biology breaks down and the things start to flow. And then you get colors change because the bacteria starts to take over. You get reds and greens and yellows and oranges and blues, all kinds of colors. And that's what we got coming out now. A lot of rivers are changing colors. And volcanoes are starting to erupt because there are covered up biology that's been festering under there and had, it's been kind of cold enough to keep it, under submission, but now it's warming up, and when it does, you get these huge releases of gases, and that's primarily what causes everything. And then if you continues to crush it and keep it compressed, then it goes off explosively. Spontaneous combustion, and pow! That's when you get the enormous eruption of volcanoes. And they're going to erupt right now. They're going to erupt very soon. A lot of them all over the world are erupting. They just looked at the Yellowstone here to see if they were worried about eruption here. Those are lungs. Basaltic melt, they're lungs. This here is a heart and liver and so forth up in here. That's called rhyolite. The two of them come together up in a trachea of that creature's body. And up here where is the evaporative pond up there where it boils off and all that. So the heat is being released. So this one probably won't explode. But that is identical to the structure in a creature's body. They come up like that, fleshy areas. That's what this is. And this is at Yellowstone. Stored across Yellowstone, instead of having one sort of large reservoir, it has this, which is the body parts decomposing because they're different types of stuff. This is all made, basically there's a lot of blood in here, but most of this is made out of collagens and kerogens because it's a rubbery bag. It's being released, so this one probably won't explode. But that is identical to the structure in a creature's body. The lungs come up, you have your esophagus, trachea, and all that stuff comes up to your throat. And this is where it's boiling off, up at the hot springs. So the pressure's getting let out. And these two things right here is exactly what happens in your body, right around your neck. They come up like that, fleshy areas. That's what this is. And this is at Yellowstone. Stored across Yellowstone, instead of having one sort of large reservoir, it has this, which is the body parts decomposing because they're different types of stuff. This is all made, basically there's a lot of blood in here, but most of this is made out of collagens and kerogens because it's a rubbery bag. This is a different material. This is a structural material where you have sort of hard, it doesn't bend and floppy and stretchy. This is the different. And this ends up creating basalts. These can end up creating rhyolites. You got to really dig into this stuff deep. Now, why did this turn into salt? I know why now. I figured it out. But I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you later. You just think about it. Why would this one turn into clay? It's clay. It's mud, like clay. It still has the colors. And this one here turned into salt. It appears like it probably was a similar situation, similar material, but this is salt now and the other one's clay. Or did they start the same, or was one of them salt right from the beginning? I don't think it was. There's nothing that I know of that was salt to start with. Something caused that to turn into salt instead of mud and clay and tissue layers. And then it eroded quite easily because salt has a tendency to really just flow when you get moisture on it. And this is a dry region in Iran. However, even a small amount of rain can make this thing just turn into fluids. All right, so that's, I guess, the lesson for today. The Earth is basically 100% biology, as is everything that I have ever seen. And now it's thawing out. And this is not going to be something that's going to end well. I'm going to just tell you right now, I'm not going to try to sugarcoat anything. There is no way to stop the expansion of these gases and the melting, because as you expand the gases more and more, the atmosphere expands more and more. And there's a layer way out at the edge that scrubs through space as we spin. And the bigger it gets, the harder it scrubs. The harder it scrubs, the more turmoil, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, devastation, winds, and then eventually it's not going to work anymore for a place to live. There's just too much turmoil. And you can't, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And as these things thaw out, it's just like leaving your refrigerator door open and all the food starts to fester and get all smelly, rotty, and huge amounts of hydrocarbons, which are very dense. And they fill the atmosphere and expand the envelope. The envelope gets big, the scrub gets harder. And we've noticed, everybody knows, weather patterns are changing. They say, oh, this just happens, it just happens. No, this time it's not just happens. It does happen, yes. Absolutely, there's changes in the weather. That's just normal, no question whatsoever. This is not one of those times. This time, it's for real.
Look at this, my friends. What's this? Is this something under the sheet or under the bed or what's up?
Nah.
Yeah, cause let me hit it now, and then
Yeah.
Shut up,
Bro.
Yeah.
The following footage was supposedly captured in the waters near Singapore, and the witness records an unidentified creature keeping up with their speedboat. Now, people began to say that maybe it was a leopard seal, but if it's a leopard seal, it really has a long serpentine body. But the question we have to ask, is this real or is this AI? And if it's real, what kind of creature is this? Take a look at this. Tell me what you think.
Oh, here comes the creature. Look at this thing. My God. Is this a fish or a snake or a combination of both? Ooh, guy. Wow. Can you imagine the feeling of the guys recording this thing? You see? Oh my God. If I put myself in this guy's shoes, at that moment, I don't think this footage could have existed. I could have fainted long ago. From this side of the world, I don't think there's something as huge in the water. Look at this. In other places, some guy is harvesting.
Alexa, what are cats' blood types?
Cats have 4 known blood types: A, B, AB, and Mike.
Alexa, do cats have Rh negative blood types?
They all have Rh negative blood.
Alexa, what kind of blood types do dogs have?
There are 8 different types of blood groups for dogs.
Alexa, how many blood types do horses have?
Researchers have identified 8 blood types in horses.
Alexa, do horses have Rh negative blood?
They all have Rh negative blood.
Alexa, how many blood types do snakes have?
Blood inhibitors found in snakes are classified into types alpha, alpha, beta, beta, and gamma.
Alexa, do snakes have Rh negative blood?
They all have Rh negative blood.
Alexa, do dolphins have Rh negative blood?
They all have Rh negative blood.
Alexa, do monkeys have Rh negative blood?
None of them have the blood of the Rh negative subtype.
Alexa, can an animal get a blood transfusion from a human?
No, animals cannot receive blood transfusions from humans due to differences in blood types and the risk of severe immune reactions.
Alexa, can humans get blood transfusions from any kind of animal?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.